this master circle Pyraminx. Hello, it's me, and I think it's time I finally pulled out, scrambled, and solved this master circle Pyraminx, the Circle Master Pyraminx. So there were some stickers on here. I pulled them off because really I didn't need the indication of what turns and what doesn't turn, but this is a kind where every center is fixed. So as I turn these, this center is fixed here, this center is fixed over here. Now it's a little clunky in the motion, I'll be honest with you. And the first time I tried to scramble this, it exploded, and I had to redo it. Now I lubricated it as I was reassembling it, but even with that, this one's a really good layer. It's probably the best layer that I've got. It's okay. It's actually pretty good. This one is okay too. This is after lubrication. There's just something about the graininess of the puzzle. But the question is, how shall I go about, or the question is, how shall I go about solving this, as I didn't really get a chance to get into it before I had to reassemble it. So I figured I'd give it a shot now. Now this movement up here is great, and you've got the trivial tips. The thing about circle puzzles is they are actually puzzles within puzzles. So this entire circle can be thought of as maybe a different puzzle, and it might be that when I turn this over here, these actually represent the centers of the master Pyraminx. So if I did an equivalent to the master Pyraminx over here, then this move here with the center here is actually more equivalent to this move where the center is over here. But I don't think that it has exact equivalency with that, but that's how I solve the crazy cubes. But let's go ahead and scramble this first. I like to start off with the trivial tips, just to get me in the mood for scrambling. And then we'll just go through and scramble this up here, here. And you can see that very quickly you come to scary formations as we're turning the circles here. And we want to do it justice. Turn this here, here, separating all these out. And it doesn't take much before it looks quite lost in its ways. Now I'm not dissatisfied about the turning right now, but it did take a little bit of breaking in. The assembly of the puzzle was, I have to admit, fun. I don't enjoy assembling puzzles, but when I have to resign myself to the task, it's actually rather fun. It's like a Lego set that you can play with afterwards. Can't go wrong with that. Okay, let's separate these out here, here. Okay, I shall show myself no mercy. Show myself no quarter. I can always tell when it's the yellow one that's turning, because that turns so much better than all the rest. It's here. Okay, so I think we're good. And turn this here. Okay. Now notice when I turn it, I kind of go like this because that's how it popped as I was trying to turn here. I got stuck. I tried to turn, and it's not just one piece that pops, an entire section goes, and then there's no coming back. Okay, so that's what the scrambled version looks like. So it's a very nice, haunting, strange pattern that we can see here. So now I'm finally going to tackle the Circle Master Pyraminx. So just to get us in the mood for solving, we're just going to solve these trivial tips. Okay, so continuing to solve these trivial tips here. Okay. So now what we're going to do is just basically solve the easy part of the centers, because these circles don't really scramble. They just move. So I'm going to move that in here, move the blue one in here, and then move this into proper position here. Okay, so basically all of my triangular centers are done, and in many ways this kind of anchors the puzzle. So what I have to decide too now is, in these circle puzzles, some of these pieces are the same as other pieces. For instance, they never separate from each other. Like this edge here is basically the same as this center over here. They always follow each other. They never leave each other. So when I place this center is placed. What that means is by placing all these edges, all these centers will be placed. I found something similar to this guy here, where this edge is related to this center. So what are related to each other over here? So too with this edge. This is probably related to one of these centers. I'm going to say that these edges are probably related to this center, because as I move this, this edge always moves with this centerpiece over here. So by placing this, these are going to be placed. And if I reduce all of these, then these will be naturally taken care of, so I won't worry about those. But the next step is I want to get these pieces in. Now these pieces, they're like the inner corners. They're the equivalent of these guys here, but on the inside. So I've got two versions of that. There are these outer corners, well, outer edge parts, which are going to be tied into this. And then you've got these guys that don't get reduced. These did get reduced, but these didn't. So it's going to be a combination of the way that I solved it before with a combination of a way that I just solved it now, by reduction. I'm going to solve these by reduction to this edge, and I'm going to solve these the way that I did by putting these corners in on my previous tutorial, which is the same way that I put these guys in too. So this piece must be the same as one of these others, and let's see what joins that. So as I move this, these guys are fixed, so this is not the same as any of this, and it's not the same as this. It's got to be one of these two, which means I think it's this. And just to prove it, when this stays stationary, so does this. When this moves, so does that. And when this stays stationary, well, so does that. Okay, so does this. So what I'm going to say is that this piece, if I follow up above the point and down here, that's tied with this. So this is going to be tied with this. So by putting this in, is this the correct one? And I'm going to say no, because it's got to be the yellow and red. So let's see if there's a, how about this guy here? This is yellow and red. Yep, so this is it right over here. So this is the right piece. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put all the other pieces in. How about the other yellow? This will be yellow and green. This is blue and green over here. So let's find another right over here. So here's a yellow and green. And let me see if I can get my perspective here. But what I'm going to do is I want to put it in, but I have to get the center back. So I can put this in like so. Now I want to move this out of the way. And if I move it here, if I actually move it here, this is part of this circle. It'll be, no? Okay. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to move it in a way that it doesn't get turned. So maybe what I should do then is I should move this down, bring this down here, move this here, and bring this up. Okay, so this corresponds with this corresponds with this, so we got it. Next is going to be green and red. So let's find a green and red. Here's a red and blue. Here's a red and blue. Green and red. So let's see if it's this one here. And that's going to work its way to here. But is it the correct one? I don't know that it is. Yeah, I don't think it's this, because I can't see this matching up to that side here, so it's got to be here somewhere maybe. Green and red, so I think it's this guy here. Yeah, because if I move this up, it'll match over to here. Okay, so I'm going to bump this out of the way. Let's move this down, bring this in, and move it up. Boom. Okay. So we can see good, good, we don't have this one in yet, and good. Okay, so in that way, we've solved these the way that we would solve these guys here. So next, we're going to do these guys over here. Let's move in and see what's already in. So this blue is in here, this is not. So we've got blue and yellow. Let's get the yellow and green. So let's find the yellow and green. Green, nope. Green, nope. Nothing here, it must be here. Green and yellow, so right over here. So I'm going to move the yellow in place. This might be the wrong one. Oh, I've got another one here. Okay. So it's going to be this. Alright, so what I'm going to do is move this down, bring this in place, move it up. Okay, in that way this fits here and this. Whoop. I think I did something wrong. This yellow does fit over here. This fits over here. Okay, I put the wrong one. I was looking for the yellow and green, and I didn't get that. Oh, it's still right here. Yeah, someone didn't get that. Oh, because I moved it out of the way. Aha. So I got to move it here. So move it down, in, and move it up. Better? Yes, and yes. The only thing that's left is green and blue. Okay, so I'm looking for the blue and green, and this is all in. Blue and green. Okay, could it be this one? And that's got to go where this is. So I think it is. I think it is this one. All right, so I got to move it out of the way from here, because when I move that down, this circle's not gonna move. So I'm gonna move this down, turn it in, move it up. Okay, so a little challenging perspective, but good, good, and good. These are good. Now I've got 2 more to go, and let's see where I'm at. Okay, here's a red and blue, so that's wrong. This is a red and blue, so that's correct. So what I'm looking for is say, the other red. We'll do the red and green. So that's certainly here somewhere. Okay, that'll be this. It's got to be this, red and green. And that red is going to be here. Okay. So I'm going to move this down, bring it in, move it up. Okay, that was just for practice. Whoops. So it's got to be, I had to move this one in. Okay, red and green. So this will come down, move it in, bring it up. Now we're talking. Okay, so this matches here, and this matches here. Now I need the blue and green. Blue and green is right here. So that's going to match down to here. So I'm going to bring this down, move this down to here, meet this over to here, and bring it up. And now we can see these are all in, and these have to be all in too. Okay, so we've got all these central areas here. Now these are not solved yet, but they will once we resolve these guys. So the next step is now I'm going to reduce these edges. And every time I do this move, I got to move it back. So we know how we need to do that. Okay, so let's see, is there any that's already in? Okay. Here's a yellow and green, another yellow and green here. Now at this point, I can move this anywhere I want. It's not going to re-scramble these as long as I don't do this move. So I'm free to move the terminal layers as much as I want. So where's a green? And right over here. So if I move this over here, this can join it over here. Okay, so now this is going to kick out a green and red. So let's put a green and red over here. Right over here. And I think this is going to be upside down, so let's go ahead and turn this upside down like this. Okay. So move this in, so now this is fully reduced. And when we go down, down, up, up, and move this up. So now this is partially reduced, and now we do another one. So let's keep doing the green and red. And this just so happens to be here. We're going to kick out a red and yellow. And that is going to be lined up to here. So I'm about to put 2 in at the same time. Did I mean to do that? Oh, okay. So that works, and this is actually lined up exactly where I want it, because this is going to be kicked out. So we're going to move this down, which reduces this. And then we go down, down. Careful, up, up, and boom. Okay, so now, just by happenstance, this is reduced, and this is reduced. That's 3. So now I've got to save the last 3. You can see that these two are opposite. It's in the right. It's by the right center here, but it's the wrong one. This is the correct one. Okay, so we want to put 2 in and 1 out. Where's the other one that's not in quite yet? And that's this guy here. So let's coordinate this, use some strategy. I was going to kick the green and blue one out. Well, yeah, so it doesn't really matter. None of these are in, but that's okay. So I'm going to move this in so that this is in the right place. We're going to go down, down, up, up, and move this in. Okay, so what we have, let's move this back here. Again, don't worry about these. They're more like the tips at this point. So we've got 2 in. Now I want to make sure that 2 are in again. So I'm going to line this up to where this is one that's going to be exchanged. So I got to put it opposite where it's at. Just like that. Okay, so what needs to go into here? Blue and red. This will be, this is upside down. So let's turn this right side up. Okay, so this will come into here. This will exchange. And this green and blue will go to here, and this red and blue will go up to here. So move this down to match these two. Then we go down, down, up, up, and up we go. Okay, that was a little bit of a mistake because I put all this in, and I don't think I meant to do that. So let's see where we're at. Okay, this is exactly what I didn't want to do. Somehow I did it, but that's okay. Let's move this back into here. I need to take this out, and I need to move this one out. And actually, why don't I do this? I'm going to match this up to here so that this is both in, and then this will be the sacrificial lamb. This is already paired. I'm now going to pair this, and I'm going to take one of these out so one of these will be paired. So let's move it down, and we go down, down, up, up. You know, it's moving much better now, and this goes back up. Okay, and that's what I believe I wanted. Paired one out, paired one out, paired one out. This will come in to here, exchange with this, but this has to be on the opposite side here, so that this will come into the blue and yellow. So let's move it down, turn, and up. Okay, so now we're going to put this in to pair all of these, reduce all these. We're going to go down. Okay, let's try that again here. My camera cut out all of a sudden. I think I ran out of memory. So we're going to move this down. Then we're going to go down, down, up, up. Move this back up. And sure enough, it's all reduced. Okay, now it's the easiest thing in the world just to move everything back. Move this here and move this here. Okay, so now this is fully reduced to a circle Jing's Pyraminx. It's fully reduced to this with the possibility of a parity of reduction. So what we're going to do is we're going to get in our sides here and we're going to have to do it based on these centers. So which ones are sort of in? So this red and blue needs to go over here. So if I were to Sunni it, it's going to make this go here. So we're going to go R, U, R, I, U, R, U, R, I. That doesn't change any of our reductions or any of our centers, and now this is in. So we'll keep doing the red one, or the blue one, because here's the green. So this I want to move over to here. So I'll do anti-Sunni, which will make it go this way. So that's going to be Li, Ui, L, Ui, Li, Ui, and the green and blue ones are my least favorite sides in this one. Okay, so now this is in. Might as well do the other blue. Now this is upside down, so we just kind of want to move it out of the way. So maybe I'll work on some others while I'm doing it. These both are upside down too. So if I were to go, they're exactly upside down. Oh, interesting. They're all upside down. That'll make it weird. So let's go ahead and move all these out. R, U, R-I, U, R, U, R-I. Okay, so what can I coordinate? I just have to do a little bit more positioning. And this wants to go where the yellow one is. So I can move this to here. And this can flip over to here by doing R, U, R, I, U, R, U, R, I. So you can see the playability is a little challenged, a little blunted. And this goes over to here. Okay, so that filled that okay. So now this can go over to here, but I think we're down to the last three. This one needs to go in, this one needs to go in, and this one needs to go in. So how can I coordinate this? Well, this can go here. I can move this up like so, and it'll be fine. This will go here, this will go here, this will go here. And this will be just the SUNY. So that's R, U, R, I, U, R, U, R, I. Okay, so far my theory is holding true, because now at the end of the day, all these edges are reduced, and you can see all of these have also been placed, rather these. So now my circles are completely filled in, and I'm going to use the same technique. So this is all in. These edges are also all in, but they're rotated wrong. So what I'm going to do is rotate them correct. So let's exchange these two. So it's going to be 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, and 3, 3, 3, 3. Okay, so now we're going to turn this so that it faces this over here. So turn this in the proper place and do it again. 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, and 3, 3, 3. It's always in the middle of the algorithm when it does it 3. Okay, now I move this back, and we have parity here. So now it was easy enough, it was easy enough to coordinate the parity with just these, but now I've got to coordinate with these guys too. So I seem to think it's going to be a little bit more to do than before. So, well, I got to move this over here. And now what I got to do is get these edges back, and I think I have to re-reduce these and kind of do it all again. I can't think of an easier way to do it, but it's just something that I have to do. So the first thing that we'll do is we'll move this out. Well, it's actually this. And this is the red and yellow. So when I move this out, red and yellow has to end up over here. Yeah, here. So we're gonna, actually I have to do it a little different because this is about to be moved out here. So that's something. If I move this here, because I run the risk of moving these out, so that's interesting. So the one that I can move in is this one, the yellow and red. Oh, no, yellow and blue. Well, okay, I'm thinking about this wrong. I am thinking about this wrong. I have to do it from this perspective. This is a blue and red, and this blue and red wants to be, I see exactly what I was doing. Blue and red wants to be here. Not here, wants to be here. So we're going to take this out like so. this stays the same. I'm going to move this into position here, and then we're going to move it back like this, and then move this back to here. Okay. Now the one that I just took out is so here's the blue and red. I don't want this green, but the one that I took out, now this is all fine. It must have been here. So red and yellow. Well, I don't want this green and blue, so where's the other blue? It's going to be a blue and gold, which is this. Okay. Okay, so if I take this blue out, like so, boom, I'm going to put it next to this one here, splat. Okay, it worked. Okay, I seem to have done it. The only thing I have to do now is I have to re-reduce these, and that's what I got to do. So I'm just going to re-reduce these. Some of these I only have one to go to reduce, like this one. So that's what I'm going to do. And I have to make sure that there are 3 left. So I'm going to turn this to here and turn this to here. One, 2, 3, 4. Oh. Okay, yeah, this will be in, and I don't want this to be reduced, but I want this green one not to go here. I think what I may want to do is put this red one in here, but that's opposite where it should be. So I'm going to move this to here. And move this in. Okay, I think that's what I want to do. And this red and yellow, well, that's not going to go anywhere. Okay, I'm going to move this to here and this up here. Okay. And it'll put this in the red and green, and I'll have 1, 2, 3 out. Okay, so this will move down here. Then I'm going to go down, down, up, up, and move this back. Okay, so this is all in. 2 and 1, 2 and 1. Okay, so I'm back where I was before. So this will go down to here, and I need this to exchange, but this is upside down. Move this here, and now we're going to do the same thing. So down, and then down, down, up, up. By the way, there may be a way to avoid that parity, but I don't know about that yet. So all these are in. So let's get all of our centers back. Just like this. And now I have to redo the edges. So that was not a simple way of figuring out that parity, but there you go. So this, I need to go to here. So it's going to be R, U, R, I, U, R, U, R, I. Now if this doesn't work, I'm sunk. I got to figure out some other strategy. And if it pops, then I'm really sunk. Okay, so this is in. I can move this blue and green one in by moving this to here. That's going to be a anti-SUNY, Li, UI, L, UI, Li, UI, Li. Okay, so these are all in, the green one anyway. So where's another green? Here's the other green one. So I want to move this Well, let's move this white to here, yellow to here. So anti-SUNY, Li, Ui, L, Ui, ooh nice, Li, Ui, Li. Movement was pretty smooth there. So that's in. Okay, this can make it to here. And I think I'm down to the last three. So if I move this up like so, then one anti-SUNY should do it. Turn, 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 turn. Then we move this down, and we got our edges back. So now we're back where we were, and let's see if we've got the same parity. So this is in. These edges are correct, so we just have to flip them around. So let's flip them. 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3. Okay, let's turn this down here and move it back. 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, and 3. This is in, and we simply turn this back where we were. Okay, so now we just have these two to do. This is facing the wrong way once again. So 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3. Turn the screen where we want it, and 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, and finally I hope 3, 3, 3, 3. It worked. We move this back, the parity was taken out, and done! So there was our little journey in terms of a baseline strategy with all of these tetrahedral puzzles. Something that can be applied, whether it's a Jing's Pyraminx, a Pyraminx, or a circle Pyraminx. If we apply that same strategy, it should work each time. So I think I found maybe a common denominator between all of these different things. It's just a matter of skewing your perspective. And it does answer the question what our real baseline platonic solid is. Was it really ever the Pyraminx? Or was it the baseline that everything was to be reduced to, which is the Jing's Pyraminx? Perhaps that will stand on top as the actual true baseline platonic solid. But either way you look at it, a really entertaining puzzle, and what I think is the ultimate challenge to the platonic tetrahedral solids. Having a circle puzzle, a puzzle within a puzzle, enhances the challenge using multiple strategies at once. So I think it's a triumph of a puzzle. There is an issue with the playability, but that may have to do with the specific print that I had. Otherwise, it's a very fun, challenging, and perspective-bending puzzle. Thanks for watching.